And just like that, everybody, welcome to the Patrick Carr Show. This is actually our second show of the day. We had a guest on the first time around, so we are now going live with our regular show. Want to bring you all the great stuff that you come here for, the news that you want to know. Not the stuff that's being covered by everybody else, but we're obviously going to try to bring you the best stuff. If you're in your car right now and you're ready to listen to something fun, then go ahead and turn the speakers up because we're going to have a little fun today. We got some great topics for you of stuff that's going around in Florida, around the country, some great stuff that you're not going to hear anywhere else. I want to start with this story over here, Anthony. By the way, if you're not sure, first time joining the show, Anthony is behind the camera over here. You'll hear him pipe in every now and then.
Hello.
Oh, hello. That's the best we got from Anthony today. We're not getting much else from Anthony today besides that. So we appreciate it. All right. Let's jump into our first story of the day because it's going to be just an absolute lesson in how to deal with marketing in today's world. I love this story coming out of FIFA, the World Cup, more specifically Levi's. Now, I'm talking about the jeans company. I want you all to understand that there is a FIFA rule that says unless you are an official FIFA sponsor, you can't have your logo anywhere in the stadium. So imagine that, like when they go to play, all the logos around the stadium, they got to cover them up unless you decide that you're going to actually sponsor FIFA. So Levi's is like, you know what? Like we're going to have all these matches where we're going to be like prominently displayed, but we know we're going to have to cover it up. So they go ahead and instead of just like draping over a sheet or something, they actually drape the sheet in the Levi's jeans shape. And then they change momentarily their logo to just the white sheet that they're putting over all of their logos in the stadium. So what they did here is just a masterclass, in my opinion, of how to market properly. They did it in MetLife. They did it in Gillette. They did it in Mercedes-Benz. And for me personally, when I first saw the actual sheet that was draped over it, I really didn't understand the shape. But then I realized that Levi's is doing an entire campaign around this. And what they're doing is they're hitting a market they normally would not hit. Because when people are looking around the stadium, they're seeing this huge white sheet in a weird shape over something. It has gathered over 700,000 likes in 24 hours. On top of that, they've dropped tees and fanwear deals with the US, Mexico, England, and France. And I mean, this is just an absolute masterclass in marketing. FIFA comes out. You know, FIFA wants to be the big swinging, whatever, and tell you what you can and you can't do. Levi's, old jean company over here, they've got somebody smart over there in their marketing department and says, let's use this thing. Let's roll with this right now. And they go ahead and come up with just an awesome marketing campaign. I love it when people are thinking outside of the box right here, Anthony, into something that could have just been, man, we just lost an opportunity. All right, well, just cover it up and let's move on. Instead, they have turned this into something where people are talking about Levi's of all things. I mean, when's the last time someone talked about a pair of Levi's jeans? Next to never, right?
Honestly, who's ever that marketing person there better get a promotion or a bonus or something, because that is just marketing genius right there.
Yeah, they really are. And then, I guess you say kudos over to Levi's for deciding that, because, somebody has to make that suggestion, right? They've got to go, well, we've got the iconic Levi's logo. Why don't we just do a whole campaign of just a white sheet in the shape of a Levi's logo? And then somebody at the top had to sign off on that. And they were like, okay, we're going to put a few $1 million behind this campaign and we're going to make this thing happen. That's a beautiful, like that right there is rarely seen at companies that size. People get so bogged down in the minutia, they get paralyzed by indecision. But when I see a great company like Levi's, American, coming out and going, we got an opportunity here. We're not going to take this like everybody else does. We're going to go all in. And then you see people like US, Mexico, England, France, all dropping lines with Levi's, even though they're not allowed to show their logo inside of the stadiums. and just tells me this is thinking ahead. And we don't see this from a lot of American companies. In fact, right now, so many companies out there are complaining right now. We see it all over. We see it in our business. How do you get attention? People need to understand this is that today's market, attention is the ROI. Because until you have attention on you, there's no way you're going to be able to do anything. If you have the best product and you can't get people to pay attention to it, they aren't going to buy. And it is harder now than ever to get somebody to pay attention to your product because there are so many talented people doing things exactly like this. They've woken up to the fact that you can't just put out a 30-second ad and go, all right, now we're good to go because I put that out there and somebody's going to pay attention to it like they did 20 years ago on television. There are so many different avenues pulling people away. Social media over here, TikTok over here, television over here, something at the airport you got to watch over here. It's very difficult to be a brand that can stick out in people's minds. You have to do things like this if you want to be different than the competitors. You have to be willing to take risk. And Levi's could have lost money on this. But for once in the last 50 years, somebody is talking about Levi's of all things because they took a chance and a risk on themselves. And this is what I would advise to people. If you listen to our show, if you're out there right now and you're thinking, man, you know what? My business isn't doing what it used to do. Okay. I'm having trouble with marketing right now. I would ask you, what are you doing differently than other people are doing? If you're not doing a damn thing differently, then it's no wonder no one's paying attention to you. I should say it's no wonder that no one is paying attention to you.
Yeah, you got to think outside the box. And this is kind of how we started doing this. We were like, oh, there's a whole live content that no one really does. And we want to explore it and do this whole stuff. And it's been helping us with like getting traction. It's been great.
Yeah. Well, we started this as a 90-day challenge. Is that, hey, could we do 90 work days, 90, basically we're going to do 12 weeks here and what we're going to do. And we're going to go live all the time. And we're going to try to bring our thoughts into everybody. And some people said that's crazy. It's a lot of time that you're going to spend going live. And you know what? It's been a very interesting experiment. But what it does is it thinks outside the box. You have to right now as a business. I got to give kudos right now. In fact, here you go. I'm gonna really give some credit. We have a gym right next door to us. It's called LunaFit. And we're over here in the Altamont area outside of Orlando, everybody. This is a small gym owned by a married couple, and they run a great ship over there. It's a good little small gym. About 2 weeks ago, as I'm pulling back in from lunch, I see that the owner and some of the trainers are out there and they're squatting for honks, I think is what it said on their side. Like, we'll squat for honks or something. So people would honk and they would do a squat out there with a bar. And they're on a busy street that we have. I can see right through our window out here. And so people are driving by. And for some individuals out there, they would look at those people and say, I would never do something like that. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, come on, like, use the internet or, I'm embarrassed to do something like that. I look at that and I think, what a great owner of a business. Like, that guy's getting out there. He's got people that are driving by his business every day and they're not stopping in. I'm going to do something outside the box. And they did it it's called LunaFit. So it's got their daughter's name is actually Luna. But the reason that, they kind of go with more of a moon, outer space kind of feel with their marketing. And so they were actually dressed in like a spaceman outfit. All right. Like an astronaut. Then they're out there doing that stuff. That kind of stuff works right now because everybody is so tired of seeing the same stuff on repeat. You've got to be willing as a business owner, as a leader of a department, to do things that are going to help people remember who you are. And I loved seeing that on a Friday afternoon as I drove back into the office, because I just thought to myself, it doesn't cost anything for the owner to be out there doing that. Is it a little embarrassing? Sure it is. Okay. But you know what? I wonder how many gym memberships they get from that. How many people might have thought, all right, let me stop in there and see what's going on. How many people drove by hundreds of times before and never knew there was a gym right there for them to look at? Okay, now they do. They're aware of you. I mean, there are entire campaigns that businesses are doing right now so that people become aware of them, and they work. But you can't neglect doing the things that others are unwilling to do, risk that others are unwilling to take in today's market, because it is so saturated by good marketing or just by marketing in general, that you only have so much attention, or people only have so much attention that they can give you. And so for me, this story right here is how you take something like a clean venue cover up from FIFA and turn it into something that can generate millions of dollars for you. Never think that you're out. All right. Folks, if your business feels that way right now, but sometimes we can feel like we're getting knocked around. I bet that they weren't very happy about this. Levi's pays for a sponsorship inside of a stadium, and then all of a sudden they get told, no, you can't use it. I'm sure they weren't happy, and they could have done what everybody else did. All those other million or billion-dollar companies inside of these stadiums could have just taken it, put something over the top, and called it a day. But somebody had the wherewithal and the foresight to go, no, we're going to do better. And now people are talking about Levi's for the first time in my lifetime. And I love everything about the story.
Yeah, and I bet you it probably didn't really cost a lot, and they're probably
Cost a white sheet.
exactly. So I think the people that actually did sponsor FIFA, they're probably spending so much more money than what Levi's is, and
Ooh.
they're not getting as much traction as Levi's right now.
It's so true, man. I mean, you look at that. Here's Levi's spending enough money to form a sheet over a logo in a few stadiums. And you got all these other brands that are probably spending hundreds of millions of dollars on premium sponsorships and opportunities. And if I'm Levi's, I'm sitting there going, yeah, you enjoy your box seats over there and your nice drinks to watch it. We're just going to be over here just racking in money, deals with players. We're going to have people wearing Levi's out there. I mean, this is going to be great. Good for them. And whoever the marketing person is, would love to meet them, because I would love to hear the story about how that came along right there. Great job by them. I want to turn our second story here to a one that me and you have talked about a lot before today, Anthony. Folks, have you been driving around and noticed something called Saucy by KFC? They are popping up all around Orlando. Now, so listen, I figured this was like the last dying chance for KFC in the United States. I mean, if you look at their numbers, they've been bleeding back at home. 123 stores closed last year, 127 the year before that. They've got Raising Cane's just going like this. In fact, by the end of 2026, Raising Cane's will be the number one that there is, not KFC anymore. So I've got to think, like, what is up with this Saucy thing? Because I've got one right by me over in Winter Park. Maybe I'm wrong about this whole thing right here. Let me start, first of all, with the timeline. December 2024, the very first Saucy store by KFC actually opens on Alafaya Trail outside of Orlando. They picked Orlando because, I don't know, we got a lot of diversity and stuff. It didn't exactly limp to the finish line, everybody. Yum, who owns the parent company, who owns KFC, on their earnings call, CEO David Gibbs told Wall Street the Alafaya store, get this, out of all of their stores in KFC, it ranked in the top 15 in the United States, running at more than double the system average. All right. So the store itself, they're winning. Here's the crazy part. Why are they doing it? Okay. The whole store concept is built around sauces. You can get all these different sauces for your chicken. It come to find out, what they're developing is a scalable platform with sauces that can be implemented into their KFC stores. And they're using the Saucy by KFC stores to go ahead and test the sauce market for their chicken. And so far, the darn thing has been successful. They're continuing to open up these Saucy stores all across the country. And what they're learning from the stores, they're implementing into the KFC brand with the most popular sauces that you can buy. I would turn people's attention to Chick-fil-A, who's taken their sauces in most supermarkets, especially in the Southeast. You can go buy those Chick-fil-A sauces that everybody loves. People love Chick-fil-A sauce. And KFC, before today, even today, I can't tell you what sauce KFC has. There's no KFC sauce that I'm aware of. I don't go there and ask for a particular kind of sauce like when I go to Chick-fil-A. And it seems like they've recognized how important the sauce is to chicken, and they're using Orlando as the platform to jump the Saucy brand off. Now, that's what the headlines are going to tell you. I'm going to tell you this. I've driven by a lot of these stores, and there ain't a lot of people walking in them. So I'm not sure if this is some kind of big ploy by KFC to say, hey, everything's great, and then they shut down a bunch of these things, or if they're actually doing well at times like lunch and dinner when I'm here in the office and I'm not driving home. But when I'm there like 9, 10 o'clock at night, there ain't nobody ever in the Saucy store that's over Winter Park by me. But I think it's a very unique story. I had no idea that this thing had started in Orlando because they are starting to pop up across the United States.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting seeing how much they've been growing, at least in Orlando. But for me, as like someone who's been in Florida, it makes me sad because they're taking over all the PDQ stores, and I think they took over like I have to look at the numbers, but I think they took over like almost every single one of PDQs in Orlando.
Okay.
And so they changed it over to Saucy, and I'm a diehard PDQ fan.
Okay.
When because I was from West Palm and they had a PDQ there, that was the only one. And then I came over here, and there was only one in Orlando, and then they opened up a couple more. I was the first customer
Really?
in the Lake Nona PDQ. There's a picture of me and my fiance. We waited there till like midnight to go to PDQ. And
you're that much of a PDQ fan.
People dedicated to quality.
People dedicated to quality. Folks, people dedicated to PDQ. Let me tell you what, you need to get this guy a sponsorship right here. That's what we need. We need to have PDQ sandwiches. That's what we need.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
Just get those. What do you like there? What's your thing?
I love the chicken tenders.
The tenders?
Yeah.
Do they have good sauce?
Oh, yeah. The creamy garlic. Oh,
that does sound good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, I look at this, man, and I'm like, Saucy by KFC. When I drive by it, it just looks like a hole. I mean, it's got these weird kind of pink and purple colors to it. For me, it screamed desperation, is what it seemed. It seemed like you had these stores that weren't getting traction. And so what they did is they were like, let's put a cheap version of whatever we got and try to save it. I don't get it. Now, listen, I may go tonight. I may have to go check it out and try one of these sauces and see if there's some great chicken sauce that we've never heard of right now and they've invented. But you're going to be real hard pressed to beat Chick-fil-A about a quarter mile down on the right because people know it. The quality of the chicken, in my opinion, is better. And if all you've got is KFC chicken to go against Chick-fil-A, good luck with that one, bro.
I've tried Saucy a couple times.
You have? So you've been there. You've tried it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
It's okay. It's nothing that I'm like, oh, I definitely got to get Saucy today. It's just okay. I like Raising Cane's better, in my opinion.
Raising Cane's is pretty freaking good. Raising Cane's is the first chicken joint I've seen that I feel like could compete with Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah.
On a national scale, right? I mean, Chick-fil-A has gotten so much of the process down that it's documented. People write books about the Chick-fil-A process, right? What they're able to do with their employees, the buy-in that they get, all of that is well documented for Chick-fil-A. But I would say for me that Raising Cane's, the chicken, the experience rivals what you're going to get at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And that's very tough for me to say as a fan of that company, but it's absolutely true. The only thing I'll say about Chick-fil-A is imagine doing what they're doing in earnings and you only do it 6 days a week. It is, in my opinion, such a just rub in the face of other fast food or let's say easy service restaurants. They're over there just saying, yeah, we're not even going to open on one of the busiest days of the week.
I just find it so crazy to me that the lines are so long, but they move so fast, and they have like a whole system. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be very interested to see what Chick-fil-A does in the next couple of years with AI, because their system is built around people helping people. Yeah. You walk in, they say hello to you. They've got multiple people at the cash registers because they know that you want to move fast and you want to get through it. There's a person to bring you stuff to your table. There's a runner. There's all these different people that are working together to make the system go. And you see things like McDonald's. We talked about Archie. They're moving to a completely AI ordering system for their drive-through. I do wonder what Chick-fil-A is going to do in the next year, or a Raising Cane's or a Saucy, to become more efficient, because that's what everyone loves about Chick-fil-A. Are they going to be able to keep up by all the, they've got so many people. They're so let's say I said so labor intensive at all of their stores. But man, that efficiency itself is the reason when I pull up to a Chick-fil-A, I am willing to wait when I see that line go a wrap. You can wrap that line around the store. I'll still wait because I trust that it's going to be efficient enough to where I'll be out of there in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, because I've been to a Burger King and I'm the only one in the drive-thru, and it takes like 20 minutes for like just me getting food.
Well, that's because you went to a Burger King.
I know.
I mean,
There's only
was
like
it the only option that was available, like in the world?
I don't know. I just really wanted Burger King at the time, and I was like, oh, this is maybe why I don't go to Burger King all that much.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons you don't go to Burger King all that much, but Burger King is an interesting one because I kind of look at Burger King this way. Burger King is like living in Milwaukee. All right. Like you have other choices, folks. You don't have to live in Milwaukee. You can choose to live somewhere else in America. You don't have to go to Burger King. You can absolutely choose another fast food restaurant because I'm promising you, unless it's the only one there, just move on down the street. I hear people like talk about like living in like, I don't know, Milwaukee for the winter. And I think to myself, I'm like, just freaking move.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go live by the beach? Go live at the beach. You want to come to Orlando? Don't recommend it. But if you do and you want to live close to Mickey Mouse, no one's stopping you. What opportunity do you have going on in Milwaukee that you can't come down to Orlando, right? Or you can't move somewhere that you want to move to? Just like Burger King. I mean, unless you're in a town and all they got is like a DQ and a Burger King, and that's all they got, which, hey, listen, I'm Farmington, Missouri, y'all. I get it. I would go ahead and just move. So first thing, don't get caught doing that. And you're Burger King. What did you even get?
I got the chicken fries.
Yeah. Oh God, brutal.
Oh, man, it used to be good. Emphasis on used to be.
I don't even tell you on that one, man. I mean, chicken fries. I will say this. I am seeing this new. We need to do a little story on this new CEO of Burger King.
Oh yeah,
see what he's doing.
Yeah,
I like some of their ads right now. If you all haven't seen, like the new CEO for Burger King has stepped in and basically admitted we were a joke and we've been a joke. He's gotten rid of that king, the weird king who looked like he was something out of that movie. What was that movie? Come on, Patrick. Where they?
Oh, like It or
no? The Purge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got rid of the king who looks like the Purge, like he's wearing a mask and really weird and awkward. I mean, it's just really looked like a horror character.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that was messed up. We shouldn't have done that. And then he's like talking to owners. Like I see some of the commercials and he's talking to franchise owners, and the franchise owners were like, hey, listen, we don't have a sign out in front of our Burger King. Nobody's paying attention to us. We're dying on the vine out here. And he's trying to fix it. He's trying to be like, hey, we have a bad reputation and we need to fix it one customer at a time. And when I see that, I'm like, you know what? This guy might be absolutely full of crap. But I appreciate any CEO who at least steps up and says, hey, man, we got it wrong. And if we could have you come in for one more Burger King visit, then we think we could get it right. Probably not going to happen for me, but I do appreciate the effort. I mean, there was a time there where it was Burger King and McDonald's. They rivaled one another.
Oh, yeah.
The fall of Burger King is something to be studied, just like the rise of a Raising Cane's or a Chick-fil-A. And I think that to end this story and bring it full circle, it's still up in the air what's going to happen to Saucy. But when I read that this is an Orlando-based chain right now, I look at this and I go, we're going to have a large part in Central Florida in dictating what is successful and what is not. And so far, Orlando is voting that Saucy's a good thing. So PDQs, watch out.
Sadly.
Folks, I want to take our next story right here, and I've got to change a little bit of the tone right now because this one is not one that I wanted to cover, but it was sent to me by an Orlando resident. This one I don't understand. This is a tough one to cover, and I want everyone to listen up, especially if you live in Florida, Central Florida specifically. Back on January 18th, 2026, a 92-year-old woman died after an Orlando police cruiser killed her. Now, we are 5 months later, everybody. We have no charges, and I want you to stick with me on this one. 92-year-old Millie Ortiz is riding home from a bingo with her neighbors. Oh, sorry. Now, Millie Ortiz, a 92-year-old, was riding home from bingo in her neighbor's Jeep Patriot southbound on Cimarron. An OPD cruiser slams into them at Hoffner the next day, January 19th. Millie dies at Orlando Regional. Now, here's what we get from OPD's own preliminary report that was filed back in February. The Jeep had a green light. They were in the right-of-way. The officer's emergency lights were off when he crossed the intersection. Video corroborated the witness. The report blamed the officer, Andrew McCuen, for the failure to yield, at fault in writing. Folks, that's coming right there. Now, let's fast forward to June 5th. State Attorney Monique Worrell's office declines to file all charges. Their version is much different than we originally heard. The officer drove around 20 miles an hour, wasn't reckless. His lights, quote, get this, Anthony, may have suffered a mechanical failure, end quote, on a cruiser with a documented history of maintenance issues. Okay, I want everyone to follow this. The car has known problems. The lights failed. He ran a red light, and now someone is dead, and there's no reason for any charges at all. The family of the deceased is asking the obvious question: why was this car on the road? And says witnesses contradict the official story that we are getting. That's coming from their lawyer. An internal affairs investigation has been ongoing for 5 months. Folks, I want to look at this. 5 months of an internal investigation, 0 answers, zero body cam footage. We have 0 from them after 5 months right now. Somebody is dead. We don't even know why the state attorney is not doing anything about this. We have contradicting stories from people that were there versus the official report that we're being given, and we have no proof being given anywhere right now. This is why people are having trouble trusting law enforcement and officials in Central Florida. Let me be clear, none of this makes any sense. 92 years old, she's coming home, has the right-of-way with a green light. The officer says they were pulling somebody over for making an illegal U-turn. Witnesses are sitting there saying that the lights are malfunctioning and that they were not working. Now that person slams into the cruiser. The cruiser hits them. Like, we don't know, because somehow 5 months of an internal investigation can't reveal anything to the public about why somebody died. Enough. Give me transparency is all that we want. 5 months. Imagine this was your family member right now. You have them die under suspicious circumstances, if nothing else. And 5 months later, you're waiting for a report. You're waiting for proof. And no one gives you anything except the state attorney comes down and says, we're going to decline to press charges. Our story is different than your story. Proof? We're not going to release any.
It just makes me so sad. And it's
what?
Hold on, people.
How can there be 5 months of an investigation and no one is being held accountable for anything? I'm not saying that Andrew McCuen here, who's the officer in question, did something wrong. But what I am saying is when we see initial reports that come out that are different than what you're getting from the state attorney's office, and then you have a family that's sitting out there and they're going, whoa, what do you mean you're not going to do anything about this? What do you mean our family member is dead? What do you mean there's a car that has malfunctioning lights? It has a history of known maintenance issues. And you're going to tell me that there's no one at fault here? Nothing was done wrong? Show me the proof. Fine. I'm a family member. Show me the proof. Nothing. Not a thing. After 5 months, what are we looking at for 5 months, everybody? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a collision. We can look at the video. We can make a determination on what's going on. I don't see why 5 months later, the family and the public is waiting for an answer. And if you want to know why there are people out there who have trouble supporting OPD or our sheriff's office in Central Florida, it's because of stories exactly like this. Get the information out to the public, hold people accountable where they should be, and we don't have problems like this right here. I'm not saying they're at fault. I'm saying that the public deserves answers right here, Anthony.
And the thing is, it's not like he did it maliciously. This is just an accident that happened. But take accountability. Be like, look, we messed up. This happened, and help the family out and give them some sort of like thing to like help them, because this is just ridiculous and just trying to cover it up.
I mean, I'm looking at state attorney. It was just January 5th. So it's not a couple weeks ago, but not even 2 weeks ago. State Attorney Monique Worrell's office declines all charges. Their version is that the officer drove under 20 miles an hour, wasn't reckless, and his lights may have suffered a mechanical failure. May have suffered a mechanical failure? That's your response? Tell that to the family of the deceased. How can that be the reason that no charges are being filed? Who's going to be responsible for this? And this is where I think there's a difference between how I handle things and how the city handles things right now. You make Patrick in charge right now. I don't look for who charges are being pressed against, because that means there was something that was criminal done. Sometimes it's not always criminal, but that does mean that somebody should be held responsible for what happened. And so if I'm the state attorney, if I'm the police chief, if I'm the one running a department, what I do is I step out of this and I go, listen, officer, we can see here clearly was not at fault, but we have a police cruiser right here that, well, it malfunctioned. And here's the report of that cruiser. There was a lot of times that it malfunctioned. And because of that, it shouldn't have been on the road. You know what? I take full accountability and responsibility for the fact that that's happened. We have a maintenance department that's vastly understaffed. We don't have a budget that we should have, and we're trying to do the best that we can. And in this case, we got it wrong, and I want to do better. So here's what I've implemented to make sure things like this do not happen to another citizen, and I want to make sure that this family knows that we're going to do everything we possibly can to keep these roads safe moving forward. Just because that's not criminal doesn't mean it's not the right thing to do. Get out there and somebody take responsibility. Why is it that we look at this and go, nothing criminal, okay, case closed, we're done? No. It screams good old boys club. That's what it always does. And that's why you get people out there that don't trust our government. Because when they look at crap like this, they go, this doesn't make any sense. Nowhere else in the world would it work like this. Nowhere else would a person die. And then there's conflicting stories about why they die. But on one side is a person, the other side is the government. So we go, done, case closed, now shut up. Mm-hmm. If it's another person and a person, boy, we got ourselves lawsuits. We're going to criminal court. This thing is not dropping. It's going before a judge. But as the public, we're supposed to just accept that because our state attorney, Monique Worrell, says, I'm declining to press charges, that we can just leave this one alone. We're not. Nope. We're not going to leave this one alone. And I'm going to tell you, if I do have the opportunity to sit down with the chief of police of OPD, this is a question I will be asking. Why? Why has there been 5 months of an internal investigation with no answers? It's a traffic accident. What do we need 5 months to investigate? You could bring a video in here, show it to me, and I'm pretty sure I can make the determination of who's at fault and why it happened in maybe a period of 10 minutes. I don't think I'm going to need 5 months to make that decision. You want to talk about the bureaucracy? Lord, talk about that. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yep.
I'm very disappointed when I see this, and I'm very sorry for the family of Millie Ortiz. They're looking for answers is all that I think these people are looking for, and they're not getting them at all right now. Feels like they're getting the runaround. I don't like that, man. Don't like it at all.
Yeah, neither do I.
They haven't even seen a video. Like, they don't even know what happened.
And there has to be video.
Right? Yeah. Show me some body cam footage. Show me a dashboard.
Yeah.
Show me the footage from the dashboard of the cruiser. And if you tell me none of that stuff is available, and we're just going to take people's word at it right now, there were eyewitnesses who said otherwise to the official report that Monique just go ahead and she released.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't like this
Nice.
one at all. This is why people have a problem trusting government.
And
What? Go ahead.
it makes me sad too that we only just found out about this today, and it's been going on for months, and it's like not really much news is going on it. I'm just want to kind of put it out there that this.
Yeah. This was sent to us by someone in Orlando. Like, have you covered this? This doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, no, we haven't. And listen, I'll be the first one to always admit, we do the research that we can to try to find the information the most up to date. Now, if you're telling me that there's been something that's been released in the last week and that we can clearly see through video that I'm wrong, my bad. But judging by the facts that I have in front of me right now, this is not a good look. And in fairness to OPD right now, we've had a few of these stories that we've had to do. And I hope that there's some improvement. And in some ways, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
Yeah.
All right. Our fourth and final story of the day. This one's going out to everybody who lives in the east. Well, let's see here. Let's go to the southeast part of, let's say, the country. Yeah. So this story is going out to everybody who lives in the southeast part of the country. We do officially have our first tropical storm of the season. We are talking about Arthur, and it has been updated to a tropical storm that is sitting out there in the Gulf of Mexico. Am I right? Let's see here. Let's see. Yep, it's just coming up recently right now. Arthur, sitting about 40 miles. Okay, there we go. Great. I'm just reading the story as it comes live right here around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So yes, here we go, everybody. It's official. Hurricane season has a name on the board. This morning, the National Hurricane Center upgraded a Gulf system to a tropical storm. The name is Arthur. It is the first named storm of the 2026 Atlantic season. Now, if you live in Florida, you're okay. Don't worry. This one's heading for either Texas or Louisiana. Then again, how many times have they been wrong? So I'm not sure we should be trusting them right now. Right now, as of this afternoon, it's sitting about 40 miles east-northeast of Port O'Connor, Texas. It's packing about 40-mile-an-hour winds, and it's crawling over there at 9 miles an hour. The track takes it up the Texas coast today and then inland over southwestern Louisiana tonight. It's expected to weaken and possibly fall apart early on Thursday. So they're going to be getting a lot of rain, a lot of wind through that area here in the next couple of days. I want to talk more just generally about hurricane season. All right, everyone. One of the things that I just find to be disgusting is that we still cannot get hurricane tracks anywhere close to being correct until it seems like it actually is hitting land. I mean, we joke about it on this show that meteorologists, tighten up your game. Why do we have to have a cone of uncertainty that is 300 miles long? It seems like with all the technology we have, maybe we could get that down to like 100 miles. I'm just going out on a limb right here that meteorologists who are 200 miles off in a wrong direction, is that just acceptable still? How do we not have the technology to get this cone of uncertainty down to something that's reasonable for people to look at? And we got like 12 different ways. We looked up this storm. It's got 12 different ways going over here. What?
Yeah, and it's always the outlier that usually is the one that ends up being the track.
It's like you got all of them heading this way, and then one's heading over to Florida. And it's like, oh well, I guess that one it went to Florida. I guess we weren't tracking that one very deeply. So, okay. When it comes to weather, that's the thing that frustrates me the most, is that they can never be wrong. Mm-hmm. It feels like you have all of those different ways it can go. It's going to be partly cloudy and partly sunny today. It's like, oh, well, thanks a lot for the Captain Obvious update. And so when I look at this and I think about the season that we have coming up, it just is so tough on people along the coast, like Florida, Texas, Louisiana, because every time we see one of these, we have to prepare for the worst because there's so much uncertainty about the direction that something like this is going to go.
Yeah.
And I wish that we could get some meteorologists to get together and go, all right, let's get some technology that we can actually get this thing right and pinpointed so that people can actually run and live their lives on the coast without having every named storm track because you're just so uncertain about where the thing is going to go. This one, though, not going to be a big deal. But, folks, we're just getting started with this. I mean, the season's going to run through November. So, undoubtedly, there are going to be close calls for some. There are going to be direct hits for others. And depending on where you're at, will make an impact on your life, your business. And this is something we have to deal with every single year when you're in the Florida, Texas, Louisiana market. Because these storms are coming, nothing you can do about them. Now we have to do is just kind of hope that your area is not one that's hit directly. So this one, though, this is just a lot of rain, some wind. I don't see a big deal with this one right here.
Yeah, no.
Nah. So a lot of stories that we have going on here today. Obviously, we're all over the place from marketing and everything to KFC with their saucy brand. We talked about OPD and some of the issues that we have with transparency here. And then finally moving on to Tropical Storm Arthur, which is over in the Gulf right now, the kickoff to the Atlantic hurricane season. We hope you all enjoyed this one right here. If you're in the car, hope you give us a like. If it's your first time joining us over on YouTube, subscribe. We try to do this every day. We try to make it fun, entertaining for you, give you a break from what's going on inside of your day right now. And, of course, send us a message if you'd like us to cover a story in your area or something that you see. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Anthony's behind the camera. My name is Patrick, The Patrick Carr Show. Have a great rest of the day, everybody.